Okay, I've made this video so many times now. I don't quite know what to say. This is a hard video to make. Tonight is the first night of Passover. And Passover is a Jewish holiday that represents freedom, right? The exodus from Egypt, right? Freedom from slavery. Those who have been watching my videos for a while now, some of them know that I was born and raised Jewish, but I converted to Christianity. And I was thinking tonight about how it feels absurd to be celebrating freedom when I'm not free. And a lot of you watching this video right now, if you're being targeted in the same manner, you're not free. Who exactly is free? You know, I started thinking, who the hell is this holiday for? Who is it meant for? Not us. Sounds angry, doesn't it? I'm angry. I'm not going to celebrate Passover this year, or any year from this point on, until every single one of us is freed, until we're no longer being hunted and stalked and slandered, terrorized, lied about, hurt, psychologically, emotionally, physically, destroyed, until we get our lives back and our bodies back. I refuse to celebrate any holiday that is meant to acknowledge freedom, a freedom that we don't have. Does a lab rat celebrate a human holiday? Because that's what I am, a fucking lab rat. You know, I realize that there are a lot of ways that people can end up being targeted like this, right? There's the COINTELPRO style targeting, which focuses on the social aspect, social destruction, lies, slander, right? Infiltration, trying to destroy people from within, psychological mind games, right? Then there's the other aspect, right? There's the experimentation, the physical attacks, which, you know, really similar to MK Ultra, to the CIA's MK Ultra. We have more and more people, usually activists, coming out now and talking about being followed and stalked and intimidated and all these crazy things that those of us who call ourselves targeted individuals, we've been complaining about for years, right? And they still say, gangstalking isn't real, as they complain about the very same tactics that are part of gangstalking, right? They complain about the same things being done to them that we complain about. They don't want to call it what we call it because they've been taught to associate that name with conspiracy theories. They're being targeted for sure. It's going mainstream. And I wonder if the technology is also going mainstream. And I suspect that it is. Some people are targeted because they were activists, some for other reasons. I believe that I was targeted before I became an activist, which, you know, it's kind of, you know, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? You know, a lot of people who have been targeted in this manner, they become human rights activists because of what's been done to them. They understand what it's like to be mistreated, to be oppressed, to be kicked down, to be, you know, everything that we go through. We're entering a really horrible time now, where things that should never have been normalized are being normalized. And that's what happens, right? You've got some horrific crime, some horrific law or set of laws, or you have something that the ruling elite, they want to interject into humanity. They want to impose upon humanity, but they understand that the majority of people won't accept it if it's just presented to them outright. So initially they target certain groups, unpopular groups, where they know that the masses, the majority, will be willing to accept it. And so whatever it is, it becomes normalized that way because the population will allow it to happen to certain groups. Once it becomes normalized, then they start branching out, and it happens to more and more groups of people until it's widely accepted in society. You know, this is also the same basis for experimentation. We see animal experimentation all the time, and you got animal rights activists who speak up against that. But what a lot of people don't realize is that humans have also been experimented on for decades, if not more than that. Okay, you go back 100 years. You've got to consider that there are going to be many instances of human experimentation that led us to where we are today. And by where we are today, I'm not even talking about the Gangstalking program. I'm not talking about MK Ultra or COINTELPRO. I'm talking about our modern day conveniences. Okay, a lot of these only exist because they were first tried out on other people, on human beings. And these things are always used in a negative way first. They're used as weapons first. The worst aspects are tried out and used. Eventually, it's tailored into something to be something positive, right? And it's presented to society as something positive, something beneficial. And it's true, there are benefits. They will benefit from it, but they won't see the negative aspects to it, and they won't realize that before them, people were experimented on and exposed to the worst aspects of these things. We're just the next generation of that, right? 50 years from now, people aren't, just as we don't realize that a lot of the things that we take for granted today came at the expense of other people. Likewise, 50 years from now, people are going to be enjoying whatever technology is being tried out on us today without realizing how many of us had to be tortured before this technology was perfected for the next generation to use however they wanted to. You consider, brain-to-computer interfaces coming out. I'm a lab rat. Okay, we don't have bodily autonomy. These psychopaths make it known to us that they have access to everything we say and everything we do. All of our communications are being monitored, whether it's online, whether it's on the phone, even just something we say to someone in private. Okay, even things we do in private are being monitored. They let us know that. They talk about things. They tell us things that we've said and done in private. They want us to know they're watching us even in private. They can watch us wipe our ass if they want to. We have no bodily autonomy. They control everything. Our bodies, our minds. I mean, they want to drive us to the point where we go insane, where we either get ourselves institutionalized or arrested, or whether we commit suicide, right? Then they can stand back and it doesn't look like they've done anything because we've done it to ourselves. They want to drive us to that point. It's almost like the perfect crime, isn't it? And their hands appear clean. This is total control of a person, right? Look at the CIA and their mind control experiments, like their experiments to create a Manchurian candidate. Look at the FBI's programs, COINTELPRO, to absolutely destroy alliances, destroy people and friendships and even families. Total control. Total control over the population, body, mind, and even soul, if that's possible. It's hard being in a body that someone else controls, with a mind that someone else wants to control fully. It's hard knowing that to them, I'm not even human, I'm just a lab rat, a test dummy. I don't have freedom. Why should I then celebrate a holiday that represents freedom? Whose freedom? Not mine. Certainly not mine. It's hard when you're in a body that they show you it's not yours. And for some of you, they flat out tell you it's not yours, though you're inside of it. You're suffering with it. If it dies, you die with it. But they're telling you it's not yours. They're treating you like it's not yours. They have full control over it. They make all decisions for it. They don't care if it hurts you. They don't care if it kills you. It's hard, isn't it? And it's getting worse. This is becoming normalized now with the laws being made in the States, where people's bodily autonomy can be taken away just like that. And there's always some excuse to justify it, always. Okay, this is being normalized no matter how they manage to do it. They're getting people used to the idea that their bodies are not theirs. Whether we're talking about slavery, forcing people to work for free until they die, to slave away for barely enough to survive, while the rich elite at the top sit back and benefit from all of it as they do nothing. Right? We live in a pay-to-live society. You can't survive if you can't buy food, if you can't buy clean water, if you can't buy shelter and medical care. And they just keep raising the prices, while decreasing your salary, while doing things to prevent you from working, while alienating you and isolating you and kicking you out of society. So how do you pay for those things? How do you survive? And that's slavery. Okay? The workers are slaves. You know, and if you're a woman, you're told that your body isn't yours either. You can be raped, you can be forced to breed, even if it kills you. No matter how badly it hurts you, they don't care. Your life doesn't matter to them. Your life doesn't matter at all to them. You know, I know a lot of you who aren't targeted individuals right now, you do know what it's like to be in a body that other people think they should have full control over and that you should have no say in it at all, even though you're the one living inside of it, even though you're the one suffering with it. Right? The people controlling you, making decisions for you, they're not suffering with you. They don't care. They're not hurt because of it. You're hurt. And they don't care. And for some of them, they enjoy it. It's for their benefit, their pleasure, their finances, their experiments. For those of us who are targeted individuals, in many cases, it's just to silence the targeted individuals because they're seen as a threat to the current power. But in other cases, it's worse than that. It's at the level of MK Ultra. They're being experimented on. The government has taken their bodies, full bodily autonomy taken from them. They are literally lab rats. And this is really the foundation of the United States of America. This is nothing new. To all those of you who are suffering, whether you're targeted individuals or not, for those of you who are hurting, physically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this is happening to you. But you need to know that you matter. Your life matters. And no, it isn't God who wants this for you. They lie when they say that it's God who wants this for you. Jesus had one command that everything else was based on, and that was the golden rule. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to others. And these psychopaths are doing the exact opposite of what he said, as they claim to love him. They are lying. What they're doing to you is not of Christ, it's of the Antichrist. Because they would never tolerate having a fraction of what they say and do to you said and done to them. If anyone gave them back 1% of what they try to do to other people, they would go ballistic. They would kill. They have no comprehension, and they don't care. I'm not an atheist, but I am giving up man-made religion, all of it. And I refuse to celebrate a holiday that stands for freedom when so many of us are not free. Our bodies aren't even ours. We're completely owned. This is getting worse. It's getting a lot worse. And I keep saying I'm going to make videos talking about all the things that have happened. I'm going to have to do that soon because I want to get this all out. I want to explain what's been going on. It's getting so bad. I have no control over my life. Nothing that happens to me can I control. They're controlling everything. They hunt, they stalk, they terrorize, they lie, they slander, they infiltrate, they sabotage, they physically attack. They monitor all my communications. Nothing is private. They let me know they can see me in private. They repeat things I've done in private. They fucking own me. I have no freedom. And this is what all of humanity is headed towards. This is being normalized. All of it. Every time a government can tell you what you can and cannot do with your body, they're creating more of this. They're setting the stage for this to be accepted as the norm. Every time someone looks you in the eye and says, but it's not your body, they are normalizing this, all of it, for the world governments to take full control over people, body, mind, and even they would take your soul if they could. And that's what they sure as hell try to do. And they will always have some justification for it. For us being targeted, it's probably going to be the lie that, oh, it's for the betterment of humanity, because in a few generations they'll benefit from what we're contributing to now, even though we're not contributing willingly. That's how it goes. We're being used, experimented on, tortured for the benefit of future generations, or the enslavement of them. And in the future, they won't be able to tell the difference. I'm rambling. And I probably pissed off a lot of people now, and I'm too tired to care. I'm sorry. For those of you who are suffering, who are struggling, who think that you don't matter, you do matter. And you're probably closer to Christ than the psychopaths who are hurting you, who are making decisions for you that hurt, that could kill you. You're closer to Christ than they are, and they want you to believe the opposite. Don't. They're lying to you.